Welcome to 2023. Are you now ready to take seriously your improvement as a leader? I'm Eric with Leadership Developed. This week we're going to talk about all the things you can do to gain that edge and break yourself away from your peers. To make you the leader that your people are desiring to have, that they're willing to stick with as you're going through these uncertain times. Leadership is about how you can affect as many people and influence and inspire them. So let's begin. So the first and most important thing for you as a leader is to establish these three things. 1 is the vision. 2, your mission statement. And 3, what are your core values? Those three things will inspire others to join you in this journey. Now you got those three things established. Now it's time to reach out, get a hold of your people. Best way to get people's attention, to have them come follow you, is by these three things. 1, build on their identity. 2, give them a purpose. And 3, invest in their growth. Those three things will allow anybody, even the most self-centered, most selfish person, will follow your lead because you are contributing to their success. Another thing that should be important for you to keep in mind is also your role as a leader. It is your job to be the protector of the culture, the creator of the environment of excellence, the one who provides guidance, helps make decisions, and takes total responsibility for what your organization does or does not accomplish. I get asked, hey, what is your leadership style? And I'll tell most people that my leadership style is dynamic. And what I mean by that is what I use in those different styles depends on the situation and the people that I'm working with. You see, it's not one size fits all. It's a matter of knowing the situation, knowing your people, knowing what you are in to be able to get the most out of them. And sometimes that includes your teacher mentor, your cheerleader, your servant leader. Sometimes it needs some democracy. Sometimes it just needs you to be the first follower, which is the second leader. It's always important to remember the differences between your leadership skills and your management skills. You see, your leadership skills, that's what your people are following. That's what they're attracted to. That's what inspires them. However, your management skills are what your bosses, your employers, your stakeholders expect the results from. And those two complement each other. They're not the same, but they're not so totally different. If you look in this V diagram, you can see there's an area where they come together. You need all three of these areas to work complementary to each other. As a leader, it's important for you to create the mindset that every challenge that you face is an adventure. You see, by having the adventurous mindset, that'll allow you to be able to take on and overcome these challenges and be able to tell a great story when you get it complete. Establishing an organizational structure will help you with two things. 1, be able to delegate authority, allowing people to make decisions at their level. And 2, risk mitigation. Allow people to assess, make decisions about those risks, and let them to explain when they come across certain criteria that require your knowledge or even your approval. Promote within the culture a sense of competition, friendly competition, not cutthroat competition. Cutthroat competition, that's like a zero-sum game. Somebody has to lose for someone to win. Think of it like a track meet, a road race, where each person's pushing each other to go faster to see how much better they can do than the previous time they competed together. You see, that commitment to excellence allows everyone to raise the bar to see how much further they can go in pushing themselves up over those bars or pulling the other people with them to help them be excellent as well. To be able to get your people to buy in or actually take ownership of the organization is just give them autonomy. We talked about earlier about how you can delegate authority, but you don't delegate the responsibility. It's upon you to figure out what choices can they make, how far can they go with it, and how much ownership do you want them to have. Trust me, an employee who's challenged, who feels like they have respect of their peers and feel like their choices mean something to the organization will help them keep with the organization for long term. When it comes to evaluating your people, there is a good way for you to do it where you don't have everyone trying to cutthroat each other. You see, evaluations don't always have to be a death match in the Thunderdome, but it doesn't also have to be unicorns and rainbows. Here's a quick suggestion for you. There's 2 types of evaluations. First one is where you evaluate the person against themselves. When you first brought in that person, you evaluated it on that baseline, their first 3 months in the job. From there, you go up and down from how they're performing of your expectations within the requirements that you've asked of them. The second one is what I call the rack and stack, and the Marine Corps is great for that one. That is where you evaluate the people in accordance to how you feel they are against each other. Now, that'll create two things. It'll create them against themselves and then against the group. They don't need to know about them and against the group because you're going to weigh them. And by weighing them, you're going to take your stack times 1 plus your personal or evaluations against themselves, multiplied by 2, put them together. Now give you a fair estimation or fair evaluation of where you believe that person's performing. It's safer that way and generally overall better for the organization itself. If you start implementing these different items that we talked about today, you will find yourself moving light years ahead of your peer group. You even find yourself moving ahead of your own boss. You see, leadership is a matter of how do you genuinely come off as a person. Do you truly care? Are you action-based or are you word-based? A true leader knows when to act. I'm Eric with Leadership Developed. Hey, if you like this video, do us a favor. Hey, give us a thumbs up. Also, if you missed last week's video, check it out. It's right over here. We'll talk to you again next week.